Hi, my name is Krystal Clark, founder of Equip to Thrive, and I want to equip you to thrive in college. Now, be sure to go back and watch my first episode, Equip Yourself with Joy. And here's my second tip for you all, equip yourself with friends. Now, how does one even go about making friends in college? Proximity and affiliation will be the most direct methods that you have to building connections and making friends in college. Now, what do I mean by proximity? For many of you, you're going to live on campus, and your first friends will be those that you see in your residence hall, your roommates, your hallmates, those in your orientation group, the people who you are physically closest to and have the most access to. And then what about affiliation? Well, other friends will come from student organizations you join or within groups that share some aspect of your interests and or your social identities. As a Black woman at a predominantly white institution, also known as a PWI, I instantly connected with other Black women who became great friends of mine. Or perhaps you figure out who else is from your home state and you all have an instant connection with each other. Affiliation leads to a lot of friendships. Now, for many of you, the closest person to you in proximity will be your roommate or your roommates. Now, a note about your roommates that you should know, your roommate may not actually be your friend. Now, that's great for you and that person or those people if you do become friends, but it's totally okay if you only see them in passing, if you solely have a cordial and respectful relationship. It might even be better if you exist in different worlds, because when you do come together at the end of the day, you'll have a lot to share with each other or not share with each other. Living with your friends can be difficult. You'll learn a great deal about people when you live with them. And for some friendships, that works out great. And for others, it's the reason that friends find themselves going separate ways. Spending all of your time with one person who you also live with can be taxing. So be sure to set some good boundaries and to find a balance with each other. Now, many first-year residence halls are places of openness. People have open door policies and you can come on in if the door is open, and people sort of buzz around like bumblebees and fly around like butterflies, just getting to know each other and being in the same environment. First year students are likely to still attend floor programs or hall programs organized by resident assistants, and that will create opportunities to continuously bond with this very proximal group of peers. But I have 10 tips to help you think about how you can find friends outside of your room and outside of your residence hall. So let's get into tip number one. Join a student organization. Most schools have a student activities fair for students to learn all about the groups on campus. Pick one or two of those groups that really make sense for you. You'll be able to meet people who have the same interests as you, who may or may not be in your same year of college. Maybe you join a faith-based group or you start attending a local place of worship with other students. You become a part of a group that focuses on a social cause of interest to you or a new skill that you like to develop. All of those other people who are also joining the group likely have an interest in connection and friendship as well. And now people have their feelings about fraternities and sororities, but one of the biggest reasons that students join is because it's an instant group of friends. It's connection and relationships and opportunity to belong. And you'll have a lot of people to do other things with without making much effort. And the organization will spend a lot of resources planning events for you to do with your new brothers and sisters. Let's get into tip number two. Sign up for experiences, alternative breaks, study abroad, service projects. Those opportunities will put you in mixed groups of people that you likely would not have met otherwise. It's another way to broaden your network and meet new people who may turn into great friends. Number three, go to campus events, a speaker, a poet, a game night. You'll meet other people, and there may be an opportunity for you all to engage in small group discussions or to team up with each other. Tip number four, folks you see in class will likely be people that you'll want to connect with because you'll start seeing them probably on a weekly basis. This is the same for those who share your major. You're likely to take classes together throughout your college years, and you'll mostly graduate together. These people could also make good study partners who could also evolve into friends. And when you do have group projects, be a good member of the group. This will create some friendly connections between you and your other group members. I mean, I had library friends. We'd all sit in the same place in the basement of the library, and that's really the only way that I knew them. We'd get concerned if someone didn't show up to their table. I'd see them around campus, and we just had a really friendly connection of, well, it was a connection of commiseration because we were in a basement studying a lot, but we all made it, and we all made it with friendly faces on either side of us. And that's what's really important. Now, tip number 5, there's always a snowball effect when friends introduce you to their friends and then their friends become your friends too. So keep that going. If you find a great friend, introduce them to your other friends. Number 6, food. Invite people to eat. Food is fellowship. People have to eat, and most people do not like to eat alone. The other thing that you can do is that you can pick up extra tickets if economically feasible and ask folks to join you at campus and community events. Because what I've found in the whole art of friend making is that most people are sitting around hoping that other people make plans that involve them. Number 7, be fully present in spaces because you'll start to see the same people over and over again. And as you do so, you'll realize, well, these people must share an interest that I have, so I should connect with them. These people could also become great friends. Number 8, accept invitations as long as they make sense to you. Say yes when people invite you places. Now, I'm not asking you to say yes to anything that makes you feel unsafe, makes you uncomfortable, or that's just unappealing to you. In any of those instances, I strongly encourage you to say no, thank you. However, if it's not in any of those categories, say yes. Hopefully you'll go, you'll have a great time, they'll invite you out again, or you can invite them somewhere else next time. Number 9, be open to having multiple groups of friends. It's great to have different circles that may or may not interact with each other. You may have your gym friends, your friends from your major, those that you did a summer break with, and those in your fraternity and sorority. It's one of the best parts of college. And I remember those magical moments when my friend groups did collide, and I always thought it was super fun. And then number 10, and I know what I'm about to say can be hard for people who are shy or who suffer from social anxiety, but the truth is that it's highly unlikely that you'll meet friends by sitting in your room all the time. Now, you can certainly meet some people and then bring them back to your spot for fellowship. That's a good move. But if the residence hall is going to be your place, then be sure to make time to connect with fellow residents. That means that you may want to post up in the study lounges or in the lobby and meet people as they sort of float in and out throughout the day. Now, I know that small talk is not everyone's jam. It's not most people's jam, but it's kind of something that you got to do when you're out there trying to make friends. So here are just a few tips to help you with that effort. Just say hi or hey. People try to make things so complicated. You don't have to have some sort of smooth pickup line. Hi, my name is has actually been scientifically proven to work. Try to remember people's names. People like it when you remember their names. It makes them feel special. So I repeat it back to them. And I've been known to take a note in my phone with their name and then some sort of identifying characteristic so that I can remember them the next time. Ask people questions about themselves. People are experts in themselves. So those are usually very easy questions for them to answer. And a lot of people really like talking about themselves. So just ask them something about themselves. They'll answer, and that could start a great conversation. Compliment the other person. You know, oh my gosh, that dress, those shoes, your hair, love that bracelet. Conversation starter. Now, if you're at an event about a particular subject matter, say hello and start by asking a question related to the topic. You're both there, so you must have some sort of interest in it. When you see people around campus that maybe you've seen in other places, call it out and say, hey, aren't you in Professor Smith's class? Instant conversation starter. Introduce yourself with your first and your last name and find out more than their first name. I mean, the number of Katies on my campus could have filled a phone book. So just knowing that her name was Katie was not very helpful at all. So getting that last name, getting the Snapchat, getting the Insta, getting the residence hall, it helps. And it really helps when you're about to embark on the all powerful and amazing, the game-changing move in the art of friend making, which is the follow-up. Now, what's the follow-up? The follow-up is when you meet a person, you like them, and now you got to reach back out to them, right? And you got to say, hey, I'm Krystal, met you at the Model UN meeting, really enjoyed chatting with you. Do you want to grab dinner or a cup of coffee before next week's meeting? That is the move. The art of the friend date, the key move is the follow-up. How many times in your life have you said to someone, we should get together, we should hang out, we should have brunch, and then it never happens? You know why it never happens? Because no one has followed up. So take this move with you to college. You've got to follow up, and often the follow-up, you've got to know more than just their first name. Now, here's something to remember, and this is really important for people. If you're out there and friend making just doesn't seem like your jam, you don't actually need to have that many friends. Maybe you have one person, you have one partner in crime, one partner in fun, one partner in adventure, and you and that partner, you take over the college campus. Believe me, having one person who you know has your back and you're gonna have a great time with is so much better than being with 10 people and there are unpredictable outcomes. Believe me, you don't need that many friends to be successful at this. Now, here's another thing to know. Your first friends in college may not be your long-term friends in college. Now, because you often connect first with people who are in close proximity to you, and the first few weeks of college are intentionally sort of structured that way, the bond might begin to wear off as you really get to know each other and you all start pursuing relationships beyond the residence hall. Now, this is okay. Please don't be alarmed. This just happens. It's also important to recognize that friends come and friends go. Friends are in your life for a reason and a season. Friends drift from each other. The relationship changes as you all change. Now, I've seen a lot of friendships end between two people because one of the friends becomes deeply engaged with another group or another person and no longer has space or chooses not to make space for that original friend. People start dating other people, and this impacts friendships, right? You start to realize that that person that you met the first week of your first year isn't really who you thought they were. Sometimes friends are impacted because everyone does not get into the same Greek letter organization. All of this stuff happens. A friendship is a relationship, and you have to be intentional about keeping it intact. So yes, you may find some lifelong friends, and I really hope you find some lifelong friends. I hope you find those promised bridesmaids or groomsmen, the people who you grow old with, you take vacations with 15 years later. I hope you find those people, absolutely. I have friends that I stay connected with today, and I have some people that I'll probably never see again, and all of that is good. I wish everyone well, I promise. Now, another warning, and I want you to be really focused on this one. Be wary of the toxicity of the friend group. You know, the squad, the gang, the clique, the crew, your people. Now, being a part of a package deal doesn't always end well for students. Be sure that you always know that you can have relationships outside of the clique, that you can do your own thing and not adhere to the same path as everyone else. If they're all going to a party, you can stay at home. If they're all drinking, you can choose to stay sober. If they're all neglecting their schoolwork, you can choose to study. Sometimes students get so caught up in doing what the gang is doing and chasing that cool, like I talked about in the first episode. And in doing so, they throw their desires and their values out the window. You can be your own person. And if the crew isn't respecting this, then those aren't your people. And I promise your decision to walk away will serve you well in the long run. Be in friendships that allow you to thrive. Do the work of building true friendships, ones of depth and ones of trust, ones where you actually talk to each other and are making an effort to be fully known. People you can let your guard down with, people who look out for you and make sure that you're good. People that if you aren't okay, you can say it and know that they'll be there for you with compassion. People who will make sure that you get home at night. Check on you if you get sick, hold you accountable for poor behavior, those who you can have deep belly laughs and deep cries with, those who call you out for not remembering your worth, who hype you up and have faith in your ability to thrive, people who love you for you, and together you have the experience of belonging and not just simply fitting in. That should be your friendship goal. Now, I wish you luck on your journey finding friends in college. I hope that all of this was helpful to you or that you can pass this along to another college student in your life. All I want is for college students to thrive and to achieve their definition of success. What is your definition of success? Because I want you to achieve it. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below or on my Instagram at Krystal N. Clark. Have a topic that you want me to discuss? Let me know. If you want to know more about me, check out my college story at the link below on my website, krystalenclark.com, where you can also sign up for my forthcoming newsletter. Have a great one. And I wish you nothing but the best as you thrive while beginning or continuing your college journey. Bye, y'all.